Hey, it's Jonathan. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this video finds you in good fortune. If you like to buy the bottom, sell the top, make money in the middle, make sure you give me a like, subscribe, watch the video to the end. I really do appreciate it. Um, Check out all the different media and this and that. So anyway, this is going to be an updated video of updated welcome video for the YouTube channel. I'm also going to introduce our stake pool that we just released. I want to give you a little background on myself, a little bit of my history. Uh, so if you're interested in that, then hang out and check out our vision and our new projects. Okay. So there's two people that are going to want to be involved in our stake pool, and those are investors that just want to stake with us, help build the community to get us to that next point, get us over that minting block point where we start minting blocks, and just to be involved in that way. We really do appreciate you. If that's you, we really do appreciate you and welcome aboard. Then there's going to be other people that actually want to create their own stake pool, and they were going to want to stake with us and be involved in the community. And our vision is to raise some new stake pool operators up to decentralize the network and to keep it free, right? To keep it decentralized. So a little bit about myself. Um, to start with is I uh, about my history. Let's see. I grew up without a father, and I will start back at the beginning, right? I grew up without a father, and I started a business when I guess I was probably about 11, a little landscape business, right? Going around to banks, different kinds of little convenience stores and fast food shops, doing flower beds. I asked my mom, like, why didn't you get on welfare and stuff of that nature? And she said she didn't know that she could even get welfare. So that's where we were at. Had no father, so if you want to work, you eat, right? Um, so I worked at that for a while, did roofing. I worked with my uncle, was a master electrician, learned how to wire houses. He was dropping me off at houses at like age 14 and telling me, I don't think he ever even knew my name, but he dropped me off at the house and be like, "Hey, go wire that, boy." And so I was trimming out houses, residential houses, when I was probably 14, 15 years old. I worked with a plumber, learned how to lay pipe and do plumbing. So I was, and by the time I was 15, I could wire and plumb a house. I could do it by myself. Um, so that's what I did. Uh, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I, I was real interested in school, wanted to program. Was kind of unable to. I had to keep working. I found myself in a position where I had moved to south, down to Florida, and I found myself in a position where I, I had like $150, and my vehicle just broke down, and just in, just one of those situations. So I did what I usually do when I went and started a business. I had $150. I went and got a blower, and had a ladder. I went and got a blower. Home Depot. Started walking around, beating the streets. Within the first week, um, I was first just cleaning gutters out. That's all I did. I was cleaning gutters out with a ladder and blower, and within the first week, I was having $300 days cleaning gutters out. Right, 15 minutes on the roof. Uh, between $30 and $45 a pop. Um, so that eventually turned into a business uh, that I worked in for years. Um, we ended up doing kitchen and bathroom remodels. I split it off into two states. I moved to Florida, and I'm originally from up north, Maryland, and I had we had property in Maryland, and a family property, and still had family up there, and so started a branch in Maryland, and I had a branch in Florida, and things were going really well. Business was going really good. Um, and But I was working 7 days a week, 13, 12, 13, 14-hour days, traveling back and forth from Maryland to Florida, doing that. And But it was such an exciting time. Had great clientele. Had people that would give us 100% down on a job and leave the country, go on vacation, give us the keys to their house, and say, "Hey, we'll see you when we get back." With a 100% down payment. I mean, I never had a complaint. I never had anybody that didn't want to pay me. Um, we did things right. We did things right. We really had a good clientele, very high-end clientele, very good clientele, and we were trusted. So I wasn't present on every job, but I was present on most of them in some capacity, even in two different states. I'd run back and forth all the time, check on things. Anyway, well, so I'm never big on doctors, right? And I started to not feel well. I started having some weird symptoms, and it went on for a while, and pretty soon I got sick. I started having weird symptoms like I couldn't walk. I was losing feeling in my legs, and I'd sit down for 30 seconds. When I got up, I'd fall on the floor. So I figured I'd better go to the hospital and see what was going on. And I went to the doctor, and my doctor, she examined me and told me, she's like, "You're an idiot." By this time because of my symptoms, I was anemic. I won't go into it, but you can figure that out. So I was anemic because of my symptoms. And anyway, so I'm not big on doctors, so I just said screw it. I'm go home and I'm gonna shut everything down, go home and die. And you know, It's been going on for a while. And like I said, she's like, you're an idiot. So I said, well, so I went home and shut everything down, sold pretty much everything, and just trying to, just waiting to die, really, just waiting to die. In the process, I was studying, decided I want to study. Of course, I mean, I got to do something to pass my time, right? And I started studying microbiology, started fermenting stuff, going out in the yard, and everything has bacteria on it. We're big into herbs and everything like that, and I mean, the herbs are great, but bacteria is amazing. You can transfer DNA with bacteria. Okay, uh, it's amazing what bacteria can do. So I was experimenting out in the yard. Was making alcohol and fermenting stuff, anaerobic decomposition, um, fermenting stuff under those conditions, and taking samples out of the yard. I was trying to build some kind of super bacteria to ferment my alcohol out good because I had started drinking a little more than I probably should because I was in such pain. I was doubled over, and but I was taking samples off of plants and growing bacteria and stuff and experimenting, just trying to keep myself busy. Um, and then I realized that I started feeling better and my symptoms started subsiding. And I decided I didn't want to drink. I didn't like to drink because I like to be sober headed so that I can study and do other things. So I stopped drinking, and I had been just covered in bacteria and all the yeast and the fermentation for years at this point. So it was basically about an 8-year period that I just took off, and and I, I should have done a whole lot more. It's funny when you're waiting around to die, right? Um, you sometimes you don't, you go through different phases, and it's interesting in this life that this is the whole. It's almost like the whole point of it is the whole point of it, at least in my opinion, is the thought of resurrection. If you read, I studied religion and everything while I was going through this period, and all different kinds of religion, all different kinds, and uh, it's funny. The point of every religion is resurrection, and I think we miss the idea, this idea sometime of resurrection. Um, resurrection happens all the time. Or we need to choose resurrection all the time. It happens. You have to resurrect 4, 5, 10, 20 times throughout your life, different situations. You may be a famous uh, programmer, and then also one day you find that you're blind. And you're the choice is, are you going to resurrect, right? Are you gonna die? Are you gonna resurrect? You may be an artist and lose your hands, get in a car accident, lose your hands. Your kids might die, right? You might get married, your husband, your wife cheat on you, and your kids might die or something like that. Um, we have these choices all through our life. It's are we going to resurrect or not? You know, and it goes throughout everything. Even now, the point of decentralizing is because what happens is, I'm talking about the stake pools and talking about cryptocurrency. The point of decentralizing is because people don't like to die. Um, you have people with all kinds of money, right? And they have all kinds of power and they're in control. And if the money and the power is centralized, eventually those people become old, right? And they don't want to die. And people do crazy things when they don't want to die. When you have people, when you have leadership that they don't know how to resurrect from where they're at, they've tied their identity to whatever they are. You have heads of companies, they're starting to fail at the companies, right? Um, but their identity is tied so much into that thing and into being the head of that company that they refuse to go on to the next thing in their life, resurrect into the next thing in their life. Um, and you have the same thing with people in power, and this is the scary side of things being centralized. This is why we need to be centralized. It's because anytime you have a aging population, um, and aging leadership, people with power aging, um, and they don't want to die, then crazy stuff starts happening. People get crazy when they refuse to resurrect into something else. This can be a resurrection into shedding of one's identity into something else, like from a head of a corporation, shedding your identity. Okay, well, my time's up. I need to resurrect into something else. This can be that kind of resurrection into the next phase of their life. Or this can be a physical resurrection where I'm physically dying and I refuse to die and I'm willing to do anything to keep myself alive and not go into that resurrection, not die and go into the resurrection in the next part of my life. Uh, so this is why we don't want to have um, centralized power, because everybody is going to have to resurrect. Everybody's going to have to choose that they're going to die and that they're going to have to be resurrected into something else, some other form, something. Um, and if you have the power centralized, then whoever's in control of that power, they're going to be faced with that and they're going to have to make a decision. And this is really what it's about. This is really what it's about. Um, and so anyway, so I started studying bacteria and I was taking samples. I was growing stuff out of the yard. I stopped making alcohol, but then I kept doing the bacteria and I realized that I was becoming well. Now, I make no claims. Just like, what I say trading wise is not financial advice. I make no claims about anything. You know, I don't know anything. Look, I'm just, I'm the idiot in the room, okay? So, I'm the uneducated idiot in the room. But I do stuff, okay? I do stuff. And sometimes that stuff is, you know, I'm the uneducated idiot in the room. I come in, and in 3 weeks I revolutionize what the people that are in the room have been working on their whole life, and then I'm wondering why everybody is mad at me, right? Just because I just solved the problem in 3 weeks that they've been working on their whole life, and I'm so dumb I don't even know I did it. Anyway, um, but so I started eating fermented food. If you think about it, what is it? Antioxidants, okay? Um, the key is antioxidants. So what it is it's actually the oxygen that's killing us. We're oxidizing, and through the process of lactofermentation, anaerobic decomposition, you can actually preserve food. Again, DNA is transferred through bacteria. This is how they do genetic modification. It's through the immune system part of it. They've segregated part of the immune system of a fecal matter, and this is the core principle of it. It's done through bacteria. Bacteria does transfer DNA, and your immune system is DNA. If your immune system catches a cold, if you're, I mean, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Your bacteria is your immune system. If the bacteria on you can catch the cold before you, figure out how to fight the cold, then it can transfer those properties to you. So, but I don't know anything, okay? I don't know anything. I didn't go to school. I'm just, these are my thoughts, okay? Anyway, so I started feeling well, and then hell, I got well. All right, all my symptoms went away. Like I said, I went from not being able to pretty much walk to um, being pretty ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I feel pretty good. So no symptoms, feel pretty good. Anyway, so I'm like, hell, well, I got to go back to work. At that point, I started. This is when I found out about trading. I mean, I could have bought Bitcoin way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We all could have. Um, but so I decided, look, it's time for me to resurrect. Um, so I started going back to work. Right now, I'm working as a plumber or electrician. Either or makes no difference to me. Um, I'm enjoying life. It's my second life. I'm just glad to be here. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me. All right, that's where we're at. Um, I've started trading though, and I mean since I've started trading, I've had people that operate hedge funds message me and ask me where the market's going to go. You know what I'm saying? I look, I've not been trading very long. Okay, I mean I'm talking like less than a year. Okay, I've not been trading very long. Um, am I always right? I'm learning. Okay, but my Bitcoin's pretty close. So what I've been where I think Bitcoin's going, it just makes sense to me. Now there's variables I haven't calculated and this and that, but I haven't been trading that long. I think I'm doing great for not trading that long. To be honest with you, I could probably almost quit doing everything and just trade and make a living that way already. And it's been less than a year. Um, and really started out with no money. Okay, no money at all. Um, so $50 is a big deal, right? Starting out from there, I mean, you can turn 50 into 50 million, right? If you do it right. But so I'm still working on it. Still don't have a lot of money. Still, I probably could stop and go trading, but I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy working. It keeps me busy. I'm just happy to be able to get up and do stuff. But I do plan on getting better and going on and changing stuff. So making a difference. Plutus Pioneers. I've started trying to get in that. That's a little bit of a learning curve. I'm going to stop and do Haskell, study some Haskell. It's only been like maybe a couple of weeks that I've even been on Linux. It's the first time I ever used Linux. I built this stake pull out. So I hopped on there and I built this stake pull out, and we have it operating. All right, now so that's basically me. My vision for the stake pool is, you only are as good as what you leave behind. right? We all need to be thinking about what we're going to leave behind. If you're the head of the company, you need to think about how that company is going to operate after you have to resurrect. And the same thing through every single iteration in our life, every single phase in our life. Um, so you're only as good as what you can leave behind. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the stake pool. Uh, and when the plan is right now, we're still in the experimental phase, is people that are involved in the community, in our Discord, in that's stakes with our stake pool. Um, we're going to um, we're going to eventually raise them up. As soon as we can get the stake pool to 5 million, then we're going to split off. We're going to try to do it organized where we take 1.5 million of the assets out of it and move it to a new stake pool. And the person that's going to operate that stake pool will be somebody that's been in the community staking, and we'll help them build a stake pool. We're going to just give them resources and we try to start them up like that so that they can start producing blocks right off the bat. Now the contingency is that they do the same thing, is that when they get to that 5 million mark in their stake pool, then they split off as well. All right. And we're just going to I'm going to try to build a network of people, and we're going to do this. Okay. So just keep splitting off. Then when my pool gets to 10 million on the each 5 million mark, we're going to split off again and raise somebody else up to create a stake pool. And we're just going to do this thing to decentralize the network, right? So that everybody has a say in it. Um, and that's the vision. We can't do it without you. So we need I need some big investors to come in and help right off the bat um, drop some ADA in the pool, really to help get it going. I need all the small investors. If you have 10 ADA, drop it in the pool, and if you have 100 ADA, if you've got 10,000 ADA, if you've got a million ADA, drop it in the pool. Be involved in the community, and we're going to try to create some kind of network here where we can get this thing going. So that's the vision right now. I'm going to work on a website. I'm going to build out a website. Um, I haven't done it yet. This is the YouTube channel, and I'll have the stake pool. Here's the stake pool address right here. I'll have the stake pool address right here on the face somewhere. Also, if you go to ADA pools, our ticker symbol is IGF, and you can also search by ingoodfortune. Like I said, I just started the pool, and now there's a lot of things out there. Look, we have the Sunday Swap ISPO that going on right now. The IOMX, ISPO, Maladex. There's a lot of great projects going on, and but hey, everybody needs a couple accounts. Throw some in our pool, throw some in there. Make sure you get your drops and everything. You'll be able to get drip drops out of our pool if you're staked in our pool. You can pick your drip drops up and all that kind of stuff. You just have to be staked to a ADA pool to get those drip drops, which is a great project. And um, when you're done with those ISPOs, move over and help us out. We'll see if we can get it going. If it takes off, we could be at that 5 million mark tomorrow. Or we could not ever get there. We're just going to see how it goes. Okay, so that's the way it is. I'm gonna work this thing, and I'm gonna keep the pool open. I'm gonna drop some of my ADA in there, and we're just going to see how it goes. Okay, it's an experiment. The whole thing's an experiment. So um, anyway, well, there's the pool. That's the information. And uh, again, make sure you check us out, support us. I really do appreciate it. And look, get involved. Get involved. Cardano is basically Bitcoin that's had smart contracts hooked to it. It's a great project. I do research, right? I research a lot, and I really think that it's the best blockchain. It's been decentralized. You don't have one person holding all the coins. It was distributed to the community. You don't have this. If you look at some of the other blockchains, they either can have unlimited access to printing new coins, right? Which that will never be decentralized because you can always print new coins. That's not the system you want. You have to have something with a cap on it. That's going to be limited to a certain amount, and then you have to have it distributed to the community. But I really, I really think that Cardano is is it the future? I don't know. It's I think that it's our best option. Okay, so we don't want our government to be, we don't want things to be centralized. Okay, we don't want things to be centralized. Nobody. We don't want to. We don't want things to be centralized. Okay, so everybody needs to have a say at the table, whether we agree with each other on every aspect of life or not. Right? It doesn't matter. Everybody needs to say at the table. Okay, everybody needs to hear everybody else out. Nobody needs to be silenced. We need to hear all voices, all sides of things, whether we agree with them or not. So, okay, well that's that. That's about the video today. Again, I really appreciate your time. If you've watched this to the end, I really appreciate your time and your thought, your consideration. I'm going to get a website up and then I'll probably update the video. I just did want to get a little bit of information out initially about our projects coming up. I actually have ideas for a whole lot of projects um, that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. Okay. So I encourage you to get involved. Maybe some of you will want to help me do some of the things that, as I slowly roll them out. And, if I get to the point where I feel real comfortable not having to do electrical work and all that stuff, I'll take some more of my time to focus on some of these projects. There's a lot of things in the world that could, that a little bit of focus could it could benefit a whole lot of people in their lives and everything. And there's a lot of look, there's a lot of people doing a lot of good things. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I'm on my second life, so I'm gonna try to do what I can to help out. Um, you know, help out those people and to do my part. So anyway, okay. Well, you all are beautiful, and I will see you next time.